How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name, of course, is Breezy, and today I've got something a little bit different for you. I'm going to be talking to you about my new save over on Twitch, twitch.tv/m_breezy, link in the description. Get over and follow if you haven't already. Also, whilst you're here, make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel as well, and as always, please leave a like on the video. So some of you might be aware we were doing an alternative Glory Hunter save, but we got about 4 or 5 seconds into that, and between myself and the chat, kind of realised it wasn't, neither of us were really feeling it. Like, I wasn't really enjoying it as much as I thought I would, and neither were the guys watching. So we decided to go with something new, and that new save that we are doing is the Sir Alex Ferguson challenge. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, what is Sir Alex Ferguson challenge? Tell me about it. Well, this is a good thing you're watching the video, because I'm about to. So as you can see here, described brilliantly over on coaxyfm.wordpress.com. Again, I'll leave a link to that in the description if you want to try this challenge yourself. But they basically explain it in great detail. You essentially have to sim forward to the beginning of November and take over the team in the bottom 3, specifically 19th. I didn't do that. We'll talk about that in a second. Because the idea essentially is that Alex Ferguson took over Manchester United when they were 19th around the 6th of November. In 1986, as it says there. And this is essentially the main bulk of the challenge. You have to stay with that same club for 26 years, the same amount of time that Alex Ferguson did at Manchester United, and essentially try and replicate the great man's career. Win a domestic trophy within 4 seasons, win a league title within 7, win a double within 8, and win a treble within 13. Much like, you understand it now, much like Sir Alex Ferguson did at Manchester United. I don't need to keep saying it, really, do I? I feel like you get the picture by now. On top of that, here is a list of everything that Alex Ferguson won whilst Manchester United manager, and again, that is something that we have to try and recreate whilst being manager of the team that we ended up at. And as you can see, there's a nice little graphic here to show exactly. He won a lot of games, didn't he? Bloody hell. And there's a few additional rules here as well, like, you know, no buying or selling to from a direct rival, no more than 11 signings per season, promote as many youth players as you can. These rules I'm going to try and be a little bit loose with. Like, obviously, I'm going to try and bring through as many youth academy players, for example, as I can do into the team that I'm managing. But if it's just not possible, it's just not possible. And with the 11 signings thing, I rarely make more than about 10, 11 signings a season anyway, so that'll be pretty easy to stick to. And if you get sacked or relegated, the save is over. So what I'm going to be doing today then, viewers, is I'm going to be talking you through the team that I ended up with and how the first season with them went. Shall we reveal? You've seen the thumbnail, you know who it is. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the team that I got for the Sir Alex Ferguson challenge is Southampton. Now, there's a little bit of a backstory to this. So when we initially sim forward to the 5th of November, I know the challenge says the 6th, but the 6th was a game day, so we thought we'd go back a day just to give myself a day to familiarise myself with the team, which I think is fair enough. The first time we did it, Brentford were the team that were in 19th. Now, as you saw earlier, a big part of the challenge is to promote youth. Brentford don't have a youth academy, so you can see where the problem was there. So we went again. Norwich were the team in 19th. Now, there are I've seen anyway, quite a few people doing Norwich saves at the moment on FM22, and for the good community, I figured we don't need another Norwich save, really, do we? So we came to a conclusion that Watford in 18th and Southampton in 17th were on the same amount of points. I think it was about 5 points they were on, only separated by goal difference. So we put it to a poll. The Twitch chat voted Southampton were the team that won it. So whilst we're not exactly sticking to the main bulk of the rule of picking the team in 19th, we as a community decided it would be better going with either one of those 2 clubs. And like I said, Southampton was the one that won the vote. Democracy prevails, essentially. So, we took over at Southampton when they were 17th in November in the first season, and I'm going to give you a quick roundup of how that first season went. And this is something I'm going to be doing throughout the save. At the end of each season, I'll upload a video to the YouTube channel, giving you a quick roundup of how each season has gone. If you want to come and see how the save pans out live, of course, I stream 3 nights a week, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, all from 9 PM. And again, links in the description, twitch.tv/m_breezy. It's a fun save. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Right then, as I mentioned, we took over in November, which meant there was a January transfer window just around the corner. I've got to be completely honest, the team we took over with at Southampton, I wasn't entirely happy with, so we made a wholesale amount of changes in the January window. I've just realised, because of the way FM works, there's a few spoilers for some signings that we made for Season 2, because Season 2 is currently underway. But yeah, as you can see here, I'll highlight the January transfers that we did make. And I thought we did quite well. Mark Rocker from Bayern Munich for just £5 million is a fantastic central midfielder. And when you see the formation and tactic that I'm playing with Southampton, you can understand why I bought him. I think he's absolutely magnificent. Ross Barkley came in from Chelsea. 60 grand a week's a little bit excessive, but, you know, he's still got a lot to offer in the Premier League. At 28, this should be the sort of peak of his powers. And I think as a first team, or even, you know, the way Season 2's going, could end up being a squad player for us. But he's a great player to have in the team. And, yeah, he did well for us in that first season. My favourite player in the team, and probably in the game for the last couple of years, Ivan Toney. We managed to get him from Brentford for around £25 million, and yeah, he was absolutely exceptional. 12 goals in 16 league games for us. I absolutely love the man. The Twitch chat love the man. Ivan Toney, ladies and gentlemen. Although, it must be said, the reaction of the Southampton fans when we signed Ivan Toney wasn't the best, although he quickly responded in the way that only Ivan Toney knows. Barkley's in, and Ivan Toney is in. Let's go. Okay, that's good. The fans are angry at us. Right, you lot. Southampton fans are I'm going to say it. Southampton fans are clueless. They have no idea who we've just signed. Can we respond immediately? Adams, Tony's in the middle. Cross him. Ivan. That's why you're signing, viewers. That's why you sign him, because he's bloody excellent. He just scores for fun. The fans were angry that we brought Ivan Toney in. Who's angry now? A Toney original signing. Thiago Almada has come in from Vélez. Yeah, everyone knows about Thiago Almada. £7 million, 17 appearances, 6 goals, 7 assists. Need I say more? The man is an absolute wizard. James Larkowski, who of course was in the final year of his contract at Burnley. We brought him in for just £4 million to shore up the defence a little bit because the centre-backs we had at the time I didn't think were very good. And one of Southampton's main centre-backs actually ended up getting sold in the January transfer window. We'll talk about it in a second. I was going to say this. I love Newcastle United. Omar Richards coming in at left back. I wasn't completely thrilled with Perraud or Sam McQueen, I think his name is. It's essentially how much I care about the bloke. I don't know what his name is. But yeah, Omar Richards is a guy who I've got in another save off, just off camera basically at the moment, and I love him a lot. He's very cheap from Bayern Munich, about £1.5 million, which is an absolute steal really for how good of a left back he is. Basically, the high teamwork and work rate, I absolutely love. And defensively, he's really solid as well with that 30 marking, 14 tackling. Going forward, he's pretty decent as well. He's not very, pretty quick with 15 pace and acceleration. Just an absolute bargain this year. If you're looking for a good left back, you do a lot worse than Omar Richards. I should have signed him for Derby. Now I'm thinking about anyway, doesn't matter. Different slave. Sergio Rico then came in on loan from PSG, and spoiler alert for season 2, because you can quite clearly see here we ended up making that move permanent, which tells you how well he did. £3 million was the fee we got him for on a permanent deal, but yeah, he came in on loan to the end of the season last year and was absolutely fantastic for us. Again, 20 goals conceded in 15 and 4 clean sheets and a 7.11 average rating. Really, really good business. Great signing for the Saints. Nathan Phillips, just a squad player. It was available for like just £1 million from Liverpool, and I've used him again. I've used him sparingly this year on FM, and I quite like him again as a third, fourth choice centre back. Again, I think you could do a lot worse than bringing that Phillips in. 24 grand a week. It's just cheap. Another completely original signing in Julian Alvarez, who joined from River Plate for £7.5 million. You can see why I love him. 9 goals in 15, 7.18 in that first season. Him and Ivan Toney up front together have been absolutely magnificent. Rounding off was Sean Longstaff, who came in on loan till the end of the season. And as you can see, we didn't end up extending that loan into the second season. But he came in, didn't play an awful lot for us. Only 7 appearances, 4 of which from the bench, and a 6.7 average rating. But he was basically there for whenever James Ward-Prowse was injured or suspended, he would come in and most of the time do a pretty good job. Now, I mentioned Newcastle and why I love them so much because they basically gave me £48 million combined for both Jan Bednarek, who, trust me, was terrible. Definitely. Right, who's getting subbed off? Was that generally Bednarek, who I've just seen do that? Who? Who are you trying to pass to? And Oriol Romeu, who after the first few games, the way we wanted to play it became apparent, he just didn't fit the system. A good defensive midfielder, but his passing ability, his playmaking ability just wasn't there, and we decided it was best to cash in on him whilst we can. He was, 30 years old, coming towards the end of his career, towards the end of his peak, and to get that amount of money for him, I think we did quite well. As you can see, for me, he didn't really pull up any trees. He's gone to Newcastle and not been that great either. So to get nearly £20 million for him, pretty happy with that. And this then was pretty much the team that we used for the majority of the first season. We tried a few things. We tried a back 5. We tried like a diamond with Rocker sitting a little bit deeper. But it took us a while, admittedly, to find the right system that would work for this Southampton team. And when we first came in, we did deploy the diamond. We had Che Adams and Alan Armstrong playing up front for us. And El Yanusi or Stuart Armstrong playing in behind. So you can see the upgrades we had to make to the team. Both Armstrongs I don't think were really that good enough. Che Adams wasn't a fan of. Again, Bednarek and Perraud on the left in that centre-back pairing were just absolute disasters. So yeah, that's why we had to make a lot of signings in that first January window. So then our first game, as you can see, was a 1-1 draw against Burnley, followed up by a dramatic late win against Newcastle. Then defeats to Aston Villa, we beat Leicester, we lost to Palace. As you can see, it was very up and down in our first couple of months in charge. Then we had the run-in from hell in January where we were trying to strengthen the team and get players out, get players in. In that time, we had to play Liverpool, Arsenal and Manchester City and Manchester United, as well as Everton as well, and Aston Villa in the FA Cup. So it was a very difficult run. Around the time where we lost to Everton, I believe our manager rating was on an E. It wasn't going very well. We then decided finally to go to that 4-3-1-2, the system I showed you earlier against Manchester United, a narrow 2-1 defeat in a game we actually played quite well. And that gave me a little bit of optimism in that we could actually stay up for, last season, because that was really the aim. It was just to stay in the division. Just didn't have any, any grand ambitions or anything like that of trying to, get like top half or even Europe or anything like that. It was just stay up and then work on it in the second season. But yeah, there was a lot of positives to be taken from that Manchester United game. What followed, I'll be honest with you viewers, no one expected. The run of form since that defeat to Manchester United from Leeds till the end of the season, one game where we dropped points, and that was a 2-2 draw against Brighton. We were absolutely blowing teams out of the water. It was ridiculous. As you can see, some very impressive wins. A 3-0 against Chelsea, Ivan Toney bagging 2. Some great performances away at Leicester, away at West Ham. I mean, admittedly, right, I'll be the first to admit this. The run in here, the teams we were playing here compared to the teams we were playing here, was a little bit kinder to us. But I didn't think we'd be as nearly as perfect as we were in this run. It was absolutely ridiculous. And as we kept getting more and more wins and climbing the table more and more, we realised we were actually getting closer and closer, not only to the top half, but to the top 6, which was mental. And luckily for us, our final 4 fixtures were all against the bottom 4 teams pretty much. And aside from that Brighton game where we drew 2-2, we won all of them. We beat Watford, beat Norwich, beat Brentford, and that was enough to secure our place in 7th. Absolutely unbelievable. There's a moment on stream where I look through the past positions and you can see how ridiculous it is that we just soared up the table. Run the clip. Oh yeah, we took over here. So we were 17th when we took over. Game week 26 after losing to United, we were 18th. And from there, we went from 18th. In 12 games, went from 18th to 7th. That is madness. So there you have it, ladies and gents. That is my roundup of Season 1 of the Sir Alex Ferguson Challenge with Southampton. I am going to be streaming, the day you're watching this, the day this goes up on the YouTube channel, I'll be streaming tonight at 9 o'clock. So make sure you jump in the stream and check out how we're getting on in Season 2. And as I previously mentioned, I will, of course, be doing roundups at the end of each season just to keep you updated of how the save is going and how we're getting on. Until the next video then, ladies and gents, which will be Derby County. It's going to be out on Friday. I will see you then. Enjoy the rest of your week. I've been Breezy. I'll hopefully see you in a stream soon or in the next video. Look after yourselves. Bye. Up the Saints.